Hey people, your first favorite way of communicating is by texting. So I put my notes up on the board on Friday and texted you. Your second favorite way of communicating is through watching videos. TikToks, YouTube, hopefully Edpuzzle's in the list somewhere in there. So I thought today to try to incorporate your second favorite way of media and make you a video. Here we're looking at 7.5. Here we're looking at factoring a new way in a new way. We already had looked at factoring by using our greatest common factor. Like if I gave you this right here, you should know that we take out a 5x and we'd have this in factored form, this times this. So we looked at factoring binomials. We factored some trinomials, but mainly binomials. Now today, we're looking at factoring things that are in form of ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is equal to 1. So we're looking at factoring trinomials. Another way of thinking about it would be we are unfoiling. We are taking something that maybe is in this form, and we're making it so that it's written in this form. We had been going from here and foiling out and getting it to here. Now we're going to go from here back to there. I'm going to show you a couple examples of how to do this. Really, this is all about practice. But I'll show you a few examples, and then you'll have lots of time to practice today. Here's what the textbook says to do. That if we have something in this form, x squared plus bx plus c, keep in mind there cannot be a number in front of x squared, and there won't be for your examples today. But if we want it in factored form, or if we want it to be unfoiled, then we have to find two numbers to go in for p, or one to go in for p, one to go in for q, and the two numbers have to add together to give us the b value, and they have to multiply to give us the c value. Where have you done something where you have to find two numbers that you multiply to get something and add to get something else? Or we have to find the product of this number and the sum of that number. Oh, that was your 7.5 game. You already know. Perfect. You already know how to do this. Just think about it like continuing to play the 7.9 game. And you'll see what I mean by that. Here's an example. If we take this first one, and we need to write this in factored form. I first set up my two sets of parentheses. For right now, I'm always going to start out with x and x. Now, I've got to figure out what two numbers can I multiply to get 5 and add to get 6. Those are the numbers I'm going to use. Well, 5 times 1 plus 5 plus 1. Those are going to multiply to give 5, add to give 6. If I were to FOIL this back out, then I would get that 6x in the middle, and everything else would be all set. Let's try another one. What can I multiply to get 16 and add to get 10? How about 2 and 8? 2 times 8 gives me 16. 2 plus 8 gives me 10. You already know how to do this. You've been playing this game for days now. You already know how to do this. Hopefully we're seeing that this is not too big of a deal. Let's try. Let's try, where's one with the negative? Perfect, right here. What can we multiply to get positive 12 and add to get negative 8? Let's see, multiply to give positive 12, add to give negative 8 would have to be a negative 6 and a negative 2. Let's see. Oh, we haven't done one like this. What can we multiply to get a negative 30 and add to get a positive 13? So we start out writing my variables. What can I multiply to get negative 30? So it's going to have to be a positive and a negative. Add to get positive 13. So the positive is going to have to be the bigger number. How about 15 and 2? Not too bad. This takes practice and practice and practice, but hopefully after playing our game, the idea behind this does not seem too terrible. Now, one more example that I'm going to show you. Something that they're going to have you do is they're going to take this, and instead of just having you factor it, they're going to say solve, and this is going to be set equal to 0, or we need to, if it's not, we need to make sure it's set equal to 0. If we're going to solve, then we need to first write it in factored form. Can I multiply to get negative 40, add to get negative 3? Oh, that's a tougher one. 40, how about 8 and 5? Minus, it's going to have to be a negative 8 and a positive 5. So if I am solving this, I write it in factored form. Then just like when we solved on the quiz, I look at all my x's. I think, what can I plug in that would make this one 0? Well, positive 8. What can I plug in that would make this 0? Well, negative 5. Now I would have the solutions, positive 8 and negative 5. So if they say solve and they set it equal to 0, if it's not equal to 0, we have to get it set equal to 0. If they tell us to solve, then we need to factor it first. So first here we're factoring. Then we are going to give the solutions. That's it. Again, I'm really hoping that the game we've been playing the last couple days has prepped us well for this, that we feel like, oh, okay, I can set this up. But if not, then look back through those examples, and then you can get rolling on the homework.